Are you selling your product or your service in the most profitable industry? Or is it possible to do exactly what you're doing right now, but doing it in a different industry for a different audience that would easily pay you 10, 20, 100 times the amount of money that you're making right now per sale? Now, I'm going to show you how one small shift in who you market to could massively grow your revenue that you make in less than a year. Not working more, not adding more people, just aiming your message at the right audience. Most entrepreneurs put all their focus on selling a product or a service, and they keep looking for more ways to sell more, right? They want more customers, or they want to sell more widgets to each one of their customers, or they want to charge more, and that's all great. But the problem with that model is that they're trying to go to step 2 in scaling their company without doing step 1 first. It's kind of like when you were born, if you were given this personalized manual that told you exactly how to grow up into the best person you could be, the richest, the most successful, the most loved, the most healthy, the most happy. And all you had to do was follow these 3 simple steps that manual laid out. But 100 years later, when you're on your deathbed and you're scared of dying because maybe you still haven't reached the most important goals in your life, and why haven't you reached them? Because maybe you still haven't read that book, but you watch so many other people become mega successful in their lives at an early age. Why? Because they read the book and they just simply followed those 3 steps. Well, in business, it's kind of the same thing. The very first step is always, and this is super important, so listen, the very first step in business is always find out what industry is going to pay you the most for whatever your strength is. Businesses that skip this step are fighting for the scraps left behind by those who took a moment, literally a moment, and they studied the various industries out there, and they found the one that truly needed their service and could pay the most for it. Now, I had this talk with my son maybe a few months ago. He's in high school, and he's thinking about what he wants to do in his life. He knows that he wants to make enough money so that he doesn't have to struggle, and he wants to be happy, and he wants to live this healthy lifestyle. And this was a great conversation that we had. But we talked about it, and we talked about what his strengths are and what different industries might pay for those strengths. You know, one industry might pay $40,000 a year to start, and another might pay $140,000 or more to start. It's the same business. Now, when I started my first company, I thought I could just make money doing what I love to do. You know, some people's first business might be cutting grass or maybe carrying people's bags at the golf course, whatever it is. Mine was being a personal trainer because I loved being in the gym, and I struggled to make more than a few $100 a week because I was fighting for the scraps that other personal trainers at the gym were leaving behind. Then I sat there, I thought about this, and I remember the day that I made this shift in my life. I focused all of my attention on training the day traders and the stockbrokers on Wall Street. Same service, aimed at an audience who could pay more for what I had to offer. And I made a little bit more money, a lot more money. In fact, that single shift put me in a position where I had the opportunity to build this personal training company, and the challenge was actually keeping up with the demand. It grew to almost 150 personal trainers on the East Coast, and that turned into a chain of health clubs, which turned into a series of books and a TV show that literally helped millions of people. The same systems, the same amount of work, but one's a 6-figure path and one's an 8-figure path. Now, I still know several of those trainers who were way ahead of me back then, and they're still training a handful of people a day in the gym, which is great if that's what excites you and makes you happy and juices and jazzes you. But since then, I've gone on to build successful companies in a variety of different industries. Now, most entrepreneurs put all their focus on selling a product or service, but high-growth entrepreneurs, high-growth businesses know that before they do that, they need to aim their engine, they need to aim their company in the right direction. You need to aim your focus at an audience that has enough discretionary money to pay the most and get the most value from whatever your company delivers. Now, we all want to grow. That's part of what makes building businesses exciting, right? But most companies fight for small growth when there's a far bigger way to play this game. A way that helps you to help a lot more people. A way that helps you grow bigger and happier teams. A way that helps you have a bigger impact on the world and generate a lot more revenue along the way. So think about this for a second. What's one change in who you aim your message at that can help your company 10, 20, 100 times your growth? One simple change of who you aim your message at. Think about that for a second. What industry might pay you more? What industry could use your services more? What industry is looking for what you have to offer and willing to just give you what you truly deserve? Tell me in the space below. And then subscribe to my channel, because I'll put something together and share with you the top ideas that everybody else has, so that you could tap into those ideas and make sure that your business is built to grow in the right industry too.
No matter what stage of growth you're at, we all need an unbiased review of what's working and also what might not be working anymore in our business. Because the greatest cause of stagnation in any company, the reason most companies hit plateaus in their growth, is because they fail to see the roadblocks that stop momentum in its tracks.